Hi, hello Jordan.
JB.
This is the second review, and today we have for you The Lost and Hatchet 2. Alright, The Lost is originally a book by Jack Ketchum, who wrote The Girl Next Door.
Yep. He is a great author of horror. He is considered by Stephen King to be the scariest man in America. That says something.
Apparently the books I read, I never read any of the book, but The Lost, to talk about The Lost, directed by Chris Silverstone, 2006, American movie. Very good. The movie starts with a very blunt and a very violent opening, just a random kid that see campers and shoot them. This is not a spoiler, this is exactly like the first 5 minutes. So right away it's like, whoa.
Yeah, we got a kid that's got some problems.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. And then some people could tell it's a little long, but I think it's more of a character development. There's a whole part of the movie where this main character is just kind of like, I didn't do anything. His only two best friends know. And there's this cop that kind of like, feel there's something fishy going on.
He's smart, the main character. He's a smart
very good
guy. It
actor.
reminds me of Christian Bale in American Psycho.
Yeah.
Psychotic but smart, and not all loopy and stuff. He's got his shit together, but
very tense, very nervous.
Yeah, nuts in the head.
Volcano. Always smiling and super social, but a little something and
yeah. So the movie's basically the kid's got issues right away. It just kind of it takes place that they killed a couple of girls. 4 years pass, and the cops are basically starting to catch up to him a little bit, and from there you've just got a chain of events that leads to a pretty wild ending.
The ending is
it's violent,
pretty savage,
violent, brutal, and outstanding performance by Mark Center, who plays the main character reveiw. Awesome. Very good.
I think this movie really deserves more recognition. I never heard about it. Jordan talked to me about it. I feel it's very underrated.
Definitely.
It's not a review on Rotten Tomatoes. It's hard to find some info about that movie, but it's not at all a B movie. It's very well acted. It's well directed. I gave it a chance with no expectation, and at the end I was like, that's a damn good movie.
Yep. Definitely a good movie.
What would you rate it?
I really liked it. I mean, it's not a horror movie. Well, it is. It fits into that genre, but it's more of a character study. But I'm going to give Lost a really solid 8. I want to go a little higher, but I'm not going to. There was a little bit of drag there. I'm going to stick with an 8 out of 10 for Lost.
I had a very good moment watching that movie. It's a good movie, it's a solid movie. I'll give it a 7. 7 out of 10 for me. Check it. Give it a chance. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Second one is
Hatchet 2. Hatchet 2 is the sequel to Hatchet, directed by Adam Green. This movie was shot in Louisiana and some stuff in LA. This happened in 2010. Hatchet 2 is a slasher flick. It's there's not a lot of guessing here. There's not a lot of build up.
There's a lot of blood though.
Tons of blood. Really the best part about this movie is I guess the cheesiness factor and the kills. The kills are awesome. If you're a fan of Friday the 13th, you're probably going to like this movie. I think it's even better than all the sequels ever were of Friday the 13th. Very similar story to Friday the 13th. Sort of a deformed kid. Gets picked on. Eventually a couple of kids trap him, burn him, he's dead. Story moves on, he comes back, and he just goes on a killing rampage, basically seeking his revenge on these 3 kids that killed him. So that's your storyline, but what makes this movie worth watching is the violence, the gore. The actual kills are very creative. Adam Green did a very good job with that. You've got some horror, some serious horror names that if you've watched movies over the years, you're going to recognize these people. Danielle Harris played the main girl. and she was, if you recall, the little girl in Halloween 4 and 5. You'll remember her dressed up in a little clown suit, all
The
creepy
guy
and
from
shit.
Candyman also.
And Tony Todd,
Right.
who played in Candyman. That's Reverend Zombie, another main player. And then Victor Crowley, the killer, is Kane Hodder, and Kane Hodder has played Jason since I think about Friday the 13th 6. And he does a really good
Pretty
job
good
with this. So yeah, that's it. Slasher flick. If you like slasher flicks, slightly campy, you're gonna love Hatchet 2 better than the first one. I'm gonna also give this movie an 8 out of 10. I'm a slasher flick fan, and I thought for what it was outstanding.
Well, I'm not at all into slasher and campy slasher, so I did not enjoy it personally. It's just not my style. I find the dialogues unfunny, but that may be cultural too.
Hey, you know,
I find it a little cheesy.
not for everybody.
It's just not my favorite style of movie. If you like movies in that style, I think that would be definitely a good one. I kind of got bored watching it, to be honest. I didn't see the first one, so I cannot compare it. But I'll give it a 3 out of 10. I know that's hard. But I really a 3 out of 10.
Hey, you know what? You didn't like it.
I didn't like it
You
much.
know?
I find it cheesy and
That's
campy, and but 3 out of 10 for, I think the killings are very original, very creative, and there's a ton of blood. So you know, Sunday afternoon hangover movie, I would call that.
All right, good enough.
What's coming up next week?
So next week we've got
The special pregnancy one.
our
Right?
pregnancy edition. We've got
If you're pregnant, check that.
Yeah,
Check that.
definitely. Inside, French movie,
Inside the French movie, and
Grace.
Grace.
So we'll see you next week.